Colorado Avalanche hockey on altitude is brought to you by Pepsi Max. 0 calories, maximum taste. 5-hour energy. Hours of energy now, no crash later. For information, visit 5hourenergy.com. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com. And by Groove Subaru. On Broadway or online at grooveauto.com. At the Pepsi Center in Denver, Colorado, we get set for the opening face-off to begin tonight's game between the Avalanche and the Canucks. And here we go. Second meeting of the year. It was a thrill. And it is disappointment for the Avalanche when they met last week in overtime win for the Canucks. Avalanche moved the puck out towards center ice. And you will see, just coming into your picture, number 8 skated and then turned right in front of the Vancouver bench. In fact, he is headed off after 24 seconds. Kevin Shattenkirk, first-round pick in 2007 for the Avalanche, a defenseman out of Boston University, Peter. 24 seconds. He goes out, skated a little bit, and he's had his first shift. It's official. He's now a National Hockey League.
And this is big news for the Colorado Avalanche because the Avalanche brought in a lot of forwards last year, a lot of forwards that were going to be stars for this club for a long time. The next wave was going to be these young defensemen. And Shattenkirk, first-round pick, as you mentioned, 2007. He is a puck-moving, quick, poised young man who moves the puck very well, jumps up into the play. He has great knowledge and understanding of the game.
And with late announcement, as far as we're concerned, we found out late that Ryan Wilson, defenseman for the Avalanche, would not play in tonight's game. A leg injury, we have been told, which moves from a squad of 7 defensemen to 6, which means more than likely Shattenkirk's playing time should go up.
And also we got to couple that with the fact that unfortunately Kyle Comiskey, because of a concussion, will not be in the lineup for the Avalanche. So that's 2 players that play his last game.
It's time for Saving the Game. Here are tonight's starting goaltenders presented by ING.
Well, a couple of goaltenders who yet to lose in regulation. Of course, Peter Budaj, 3-0-1, his best game last game against Columbus, and Corey Schneider, who they just couldn't keep in the minors anymore. He had done it all down in Manitoba. 2-0 this season, both his wins at home. Mikey's played 7 periods of hockey. He has allowed 2 goals.
His first road game of the season, the Vancouver Canucks. And the Canucks, for whatever reason, 1-3-1 this year on the road. From shot, tipped right front, chance, and covered by Peter Budaj, the Avalanche goaltender.
Well, I thought for Peter Budaj, you know, when the score is 5-1 and you look at it, you say, oh, that's a fairly comfortable win for the Avalanche. Well, Columbus last game was their best hockey came in the first 12 or 14 minutes of the game. And that's where Peter Budaj shut them down. The Avalanche get the first goal. They dominate the second period and go on to a very solid win. But Budaj was very good early.
Slapped around. The Avalanche have the puck after the face-off in their own zone. Long pass out to center. Off the Ryan Kesler of Vancouver over towards John Michael Lyles. A little poke check will send Lyles in front of the goaltender Peter Budaj. Sends it off the glass, and the puck comes out to the neutral zone. Sent back in. And Kyle Quincy will retrieve the puck for the Avalanche. Shot ahead, picked up. Big drive by Duchesne, missed. And around the boards, back into the Av zone, a race for the puck. Quincy shoulder to shoulder with Kesler. They go into the corner board. Centering pass, shot, save, that one, shot again, blocked. Into the corner. Kesler picks up the puck. Threw out in front, knocked down, and scooped up by the Canucks. Centering pass by Raymond, who was the overtime goal scorer for the Vancouver Canucks when they met last week. Meanwhile, back out at center ice, the referee is calling a penalty.
Well, again, for Peter Budaj, sharp early. This is the kind of play that can fool you if you're a goaltender, because you're watching the puck go up and around, and you're not expecting Kesler to be wide open in front. So a real sharp save early for Peter Budaj, who now goes up against the Vancouver Canuck power play. This is a Canuck club that, to this point, they have played 5 road games. They've only scored 11 goals, but 6 have come on the power play.
Overall, they are ranked 5th in the league on the power play and second best in the league on the power play when on the road. Well, these two teams met last week. The Canucks 1 for 3 in the power play category. In the box is Kyle Quincy. An interference penalty at 2:33 has given Vancouver the first power play chance of the game. And a drop right through center ice. Kessler, rink wide pass down low, intended for Henrik Sedin. Tip back towards the boards, clear right at the blue line, and dragged out to center. Edler shoots the cross from the Avalanche bench. Wow, White's pass, shot, score. Ryan Kessler rifles a wrist shot by Peter Budaj to score his 5th goal of the season. Pretty pass set up Kessler coming down the slot for the power play goal.
This is just a great play on the rush. It looks like everything's on the left side. And suddenly the great pass across ice to Kessler, who walks in and beats Budaj from a distance out. But it was Kessler who had the power play goal against the Avalanche in the 4-3 overtime win by Vancouver. Gets another one here tonight. And again, they're not scoring a lot 5-on-5, but the power play has been very good on the road for Vancouver.
We're going to fight Cody McLeod after the puck was dropped. Debian is the player for the Vancouver Canucks, and a couple of rights by Debian right at the end, and the linesman will separate the two. For Cody McLeod for the Avalanche, another fight, and Guillaume Debian for the Vancouver Canucks. And Debian looking at that right hand, and he started towards the penalty box. Now he's headed over towards at least the bench, if not the locker room. Well, he's going to have to go to the locker room, obviously.
Yeah,
and now he's on his way down the tunnel.
He looked at his hand like there's something may have been wrong with it, may have cut the hand as he bounced it off maybe the helmet of Cody McLeod. Cody McLeod, who had a fight last game between these clubs against Glass last game. And away they go.
Third fight of the season for Cody McLeod. As you mentioned, second against the Vancouver Canucks. Oh, back to even strength after the power play goal by Kessler. And who did he guess would get the assists on those goals? Both Henrik and Daniel Sedin picking up points.
You know, remember when they first came in, people had a limit for how good they were going to be. They had a limit for the kind of player they could be, and we were all wrong. Anyone that said they weren't going to be superstars in this game were wrong, because they are unbelievable to watch. I mean, I'd listen to more people try to describe how they play. You can't. It is a special brand of hockey that these two guys play, and they're the best combination in the league today, as far as I'm concerned.
You know, now they grew up in the same hometown as Peter Forsberg. And remember those stories about, I'm talking about early on, how they had played against Forsberg. And Forsberg was really in his prime. And they said, you know what, we played pretty good against Forsberg. You know, almost kind of went, yeah, what? Yeah, you're going to keep up with him? You know what? Yeah, there's only one Peter Forsberg, but the Sedins are very, very special there, and really just continue to get better and better every season that we've been watching.
And Burrows, a player that is now playing for the Vancouver Canucks in his second game. He had a shoulder injury, missed the first 10 games. Michael, the Vancouver Canucks are dropping the best goal scorer in their club back into their lineup.
Shot save made by Budaj, and that was Burrows who took that shot. He's number 14. Shot save made by Peter Budaj. Well, a couple of chances down low as Burrows and the Sedins out on the ice, and a couple of good chances.
Well, Alex Burrows, as we talked about, here's a guy that nobody expected. He just sort of kept working and working. He came up. He was looking, everyone thought he's just an agitator. He's just a grinder. He does this, he does that. Well, suddenly playing with the Sedins, and everyone talks about the idea that, you know, it's easy to play. It's not easy to play with talent. You've got to read. You've got to understand. What he does well is he moves the puck to the Sedins, and then he goes to the scoring areas. And he does a nice job of adding an element to this line and completing the group of three.
Jimmy Johns delivering tonight's key to the game.
Offense from the defense. I think the Vancouver Canucks, because the Canucks have the ability, especially with the Sedins and Kessler's line, the top 6 forwards, of controlling the puck down low. The offense is always going to be there as far as defensemen jumping up, and the Canucks have great shots in the point. Now the Avalanche, on the other hand, they've got John Michael Lyles, who's had such a great start. And will we see Shattenkirk in his first game take that chance to jump up in the play when the play is there?
Timeout had been called by Joe Sacco. Then he had 3 forwards out there. Then he brought them back over to the bench and put another line out on the ice. They will remain as O'Reilly will take the draw.
Well, he was not happy with how this game has started for his Avalanche club as Vancouver's come out and just been better early.
Corey Schneider first to the puck, and he covers. He has not yet been busy or really tested in this game. The Avalanche do not have a shot on goal, with Vancouver leading this game 1-0. Power play goal from Ryan Kessler.
No, they've been, it has to be pleased with this. For the Vancouver Canucks, they went with a stretch of 1 game in 9 days. That was against the Avalanche, and then they had back-to-back games at home, 3-0 win against New Jersey, and a 4-3 win last game against the Edmonton Oilers. First road win, and starting to feel a little bit good about themselves.
They have won 4 games in a row. 6-3-2. They sit atop the Northwest Division, 3rd in the Western Conference. Shot from the point, up high. It's kind of snuck through and hit Schneider. The goaltender for Vancouver in the chest. Jones bends off a check, turns, shoots, had it blocked. And turned up and sent down the ice. Will result in an icing call on Vancouver. As defenseman David Lifferton goes back to touch.
Well, for David Lifferton, we talked about Kevin Shattenkirk. David Lifferton just in his 3rd game. In the first 2 games, he had that fight in Calgary, got himself involved early. He had a goal last game, a big one that made it 3-0, and a +2, Mike, in the first 2 games. So we got 2 rookies for the Avalanche in the lineup tonight.
2 different styles of how we play defense. One that was described this morning by Joe Sacco. Stay-at-home, rough, tough kind of a defenseman, Lifferton. Although he did score a terrific-looking goal. And then Shattenkirk, who they're expecting, and he is out on the ice right now, number 8 for the Avalanche. And if he can play like an old number 8 for the Avs, Sanders Ozolinsh, any kind of hint of that, that'd be wonderful for the Avs. 1-0 lead for the Canucks. Shot save! Defenseman Kyle Quincy stepping into the circle for a chance. Denied by Schneider. Right now the difference, a power play goal from Ryan Kessler in the first period. For Colorado, we get set for the opening face-off to begin tonight's game. Tonight's In the Groove players. We go back to October and see who the 3 stars in NHL were.
Well, Steven Stamkos just absolutely outstanding for Tampa Bay. Tim Thomas ridiculously good for the Boston Bruins, and brilliant. Chris Stewart for the Avalanche. In the last 8 games of the month, he had points in each of the 8 games that ties a personal record he set last March. And Mike, again, it's one thing to have the numbers and put up points. It's another how he did it. The different ways that he did it. He had the 4 power play goals. He had 3 power play goals all of last year. It is changing his game, Chris Stewart.
Well, some offensive threats out right now for the Avalanche. Gagliardi, Stastny, Stewart, that's their top line. Then you put Lyles and Shattenkirk out. Save made by Budaj. Scrambled for the puck right at the side. It comes free and bounces towards the near side boards. 13 minutes and change to go in the first period. 1-0 lead for Vancouver. Ryan Kessler, power play goal, 3:14 from the Sedins. Gagliardi cross ice, and the return by Stastny got blocked, bouncing into the corner. Canucks come up with the puck, lifted out towards center ice by Raymond. Kessler gets by the defense, shot save made by Budaj. Oh boy, up the boards and cleared out to center ice. And Ryan Kessler looks like he's come to play tonight.
Oh, Ryan Kessler had an offensive breakout year last year, 75 points, 25 goals.
Another save by Budaj. That is now 9 shots on Peter Budaj already in 6.5 minutes of play. Cleared out to center, 7.5 minutes of play. Check my calculator. Behind the net, Scott Hannon. Well, he's the veteran defenseman right now for the Avs. Adam Foote still out. The Avs are missing quite a number of players due to injuries. No Kyle Comiskey. David Kochi getting closer to being able to return. Greg Anderson. Avs goaltender, as I mentioned, Adam Foote, Peter Mueller, and now Ryan Wilson, all out because of injuries for this game. Center ice, Burrows. Burrows has the puck. Running around. Stop behind the net. Buda with it back around the shelf. Puck to Daniel Winnick. Knocked down. Burrows trying to center with the backhand. Deflected. Comes out to center ice. The puck grabbed and taken through center ice by Brandon Yip. His shot knocked down. Edler, the Frenchman for Vancouver. Puck works its way to the boards. Yip's got it again for Colorado. Checked against the wall by Ehrhoff. Sedins are out for the Canucks. Backhand lift out to center ice, and Jonas Hollis will come back and get it.
And this third line for the Avalanche, if that's what you want to call it, has been very good. Brandon Yip on the line on the right side. Winnick on the left side has been so good for the Avalanche, and O'Reilly in the middle. And they give the Avalanche offensive balance. So this is a nice group offensively. Never mind how well they play defensively.
And now to pass across and snatched out of midair by Peter Budaj with the glove. And he holds on. A face-off upcoming in the Av zone.
Watching both these clubs in the morning skate, you could see that they had jumped. You're going to look right here. Just everybody driving towards the net. Peter Budaj again looking sharp down low in front of the net. Here, Ryan Kessler, who, I mean, big-time player for the Vancouver Canucks. He gives them that second line scoring behind the Sedins that you have to have. You know, last year when Chicago Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup, of course they had Taves, but they had Sharp in behind them. You've got to have that second group.
And you bring some size, too. Big guy, presence.
Yep. And this is a club, Vancouver, lay Vigneault, that they believe this is their year. They believe that they have all the ingredients. They went out and they got Keith Ballard from Florida, the Hamhoose they signed. So they upgraded, they feel, their defensive core. And they feel they got the goaltending, they got the people up front, that they can go all the way.
Shot. And Buda has the puck. Another face-off in the Colorado zone. That is now 12 shots for Vancouver already in this period.
You know, Vancouver Canucks started off very strong last game against Edmonton. They got off to a 3-0 lead before Edmonton fought back, tied it. Vancouver won it late. But this is, again, when you look at Samuelson here, here's a guy that knows how to win. Won a cup with Detroit in 2008. 32 goals last year, his best year.
And he's going to have to take the face-off as Kessler is tossed out. You look at the face-offs, though. The Avs are winning the face-off 8-3. Well, watch for Manny Malhotra. He has the best face-off winning percentage, 64.6 in the entire National Hockey League. Nice pass across from behind the back. Travels all the way to the near side. Raymond to the bottom of the circle in the Avs zone. He'll chase the puck. Quincy's got an angle on him. Raymond puts the brakes on. Puts his way along the boards, trying to get by Shattenkirk. Separates him from the puck. Nice play. Kevin Shattenkirk tested behind the net by Mason Raymond. That was going to be a penalty on Vancouver. A delay call. Budaj gets to the bench. Extra skater on for Colorado. Delay penalty on Vancouver. Lead this game 1-0. Stewart centering pass for Stastny. Tipped away by the Canucks. And we'll have a penalty on the Vancouver Canucks when we return. Avalanche trailing, but going on the power play.
Vancouver up 1-0. Avalanche going the power play. And for Chris Stewart, who's on the verge of a milestone. But Mike, the number to look at is not just the numbers up front, but look at this down below here. Right there, you look at Chris Stewart. His first 96 games, he had 50 points. In his last 45 games, he's had 49 points. Again, you don't want to read too much into numbers, but right there you can see the production obviously is up.
And he is out on the power play, leading the team in power play goals for the season. The Avalanche go to work with Raymond, and it was Shattenkirk who drew the penalty behind the net. He separated Raymond from the puck and then drew a holding goal against Raymond at 10:05, putting the Avs on the power play. Behind the net, Milan Hayduk. The puck back to the point. Hayduk has had just a great career against Vancouver. Scored more goals against the Canucks than any other team in his career. Chopped away by the Canucks and out towards center ice. Vancouver team ranked 11th in the league. Killing penalties, have given up 6 power play goals this season. The Avalanche power play has been picking up steam of late. Currently ranked 6th best in the league on home ice. Total with Lyles. Those are the point men to start this power play. Coach Sacco said if the second unit goes out, we should see Shattenkirk be a part of that. Looks like we're getting set for a change. Quincy, and here comes Kevin Shattenkirk out on the ice for this power play, which has another 40 seconds left in it. Quincy, though, will carry the puck. Makes the pass across for Shattenkirk. Shoots it in, then follows the puck all the way to the corner. Around the boards for Duchesne. Back across, one-timer, Shattenkirk with a shot, loose puck in front. After it was blocked by Schneider, cleared out to center ice. Well, that's the thing, you get up here, get involved, and he certainly did.
And that's, you keep hearing that right-handed shot, Why is it so important? It's important for that play we just saw. The one-timer from the pass from the right point to the left point, you're ready to just unload.
Certainly saw it last year when Peter Mueller came over from the Phoenix Coyotes. It changed the look of the power play for the Avalanche. Power play is finished for Colorado. Shot off the side of the net by Duchesne. Remains a 1-0 lead for the Canucks. The Avs had one shot during that power play chance, and that was taken by Shattenkirk. Center ice score. Daniel Sedin shoots it into the Avs zone. Goaltender Peter Budaj ripped it back around the boards, and on the fly comes TJ Gagliardi. Sends it ahead for O'Reilly. One-handed back towards Gagliardi. Pushed up against the boards, stays in possession of the puck. Finds O'Reilly, squeeze free. Winnick turns, shoots. Save made by goaltender Corey Schneider. Into the corner, O'Reilly. Good chip from the Avs. Gagliardi, Winnick. Who has the puck. O'Reilly just been tenacious. Down to the ice. Behind the Vancouver net goes Winnick. Play continues on. Backhanded up and out of the zone by the Canucks. Not deep enough for an icing call.
Well, that power play, and just a little bit before that, the Avalanche were starting to get their legs going. Remember, they've been off for 4 days, so it might be just a little bit rusty to start this game.
Raymond, a little tap pass. Rink wide. Tipped by Samuelson into the Colorado zone. And back to the boards. Pushed out towards center ice. And Gillett had the puck for a moment. Recovers. Whipped back into the Vancouver zone. Ehrhoff looking up ice. Makes the pass to the line for Kessler. He's got the goal in the game. Push to center ice. On the move comes Dupuis. Skates in, turns, shoots. Nice pass saved by Schneider. The quickness of Corey Schneider making the save. That was a little better than it appeared.
Oh, and it was not only the quick pad save, but it was the save, and then boom, he popped right back up.
Oh, to be young and limper, huh?
But a pop down, help back up, stay down until next week. Zamboni crew would have to pull me up the ice.
Mr. McNabb, we need to get to the second period. Shot save made by Budaj. Back into the corner. Behind the net. Now Hocher chasing. Whipped it away. Up the boards. Out towards center ice. The Avalanche are on the move. But a little bump from behind. Sends the puck into the Vancouver bench and out of play. Pepsi Center in Denver. Vancouver's got the lead in the first period.
Now there he is, Kevin Shattenkirk, 21 years old. And let's just have a quick look. Now we'll just spot shadow him and just show you what he is going to do on this shift. As he follows through, he goes down low. And this is exactly what the hockey play you're supposed to do. He gets himself ready for the shot and unloads. And that's what the Avalanche want from Kevin Shattenkirk. That's why he was a #1 draft pick. Not necessarily that particular play, but his ability to read the play, jump up, get back, and get that shot on net.
And moves the puck to the red line. One-handed ahead. Lifted into the corner. Rome, defenseman for Vancouver, back to get it. There to center ice. Samuelson reaching the Avalanche blue line. Shoots the puck in. A little bump from Lippiton. Back around the board. The puck goes. Shot right on. Save made by Budaj. Long rebound comes to Gagliardi. His teammate shoots it down the ice. Stewart hit by Rome. Flipped and deflected off the Gagliardi over the glass into the seats out of play. Experience Valor Christian High School. It's a co-ed college prep high school located in Highlands Ranch with exceptional faculty and state-of-the-art facilities. Go to the open house Tuesday, November 9th. For more information, valor.com. center ice. Quincy shoots the puck into the Vancouver zone. Canucks out shooting the Avs 13-6. Lead the game 1-0. Alberts has the puck for Vancouver. Backhanded up for Burrows. Shot off the boards. Back into the Avalanche zone. A race to the corner. Quincy. Into a first hit by Henriksen. Puck frees up the side. And Quincy smacked the stick away from Burrows. Then shoot the puck ahead on a pass. Back to the way. Burrows got a chance. He retrieved that stick. He did. And the puck kind of dribbled away from him as he was harassed from behind. And could not perhaps make either the move or the shot he wanted on Buda.
Now you can imagine the defenseman turning around. What are you doing back there? But he had lost his, Burrows had lost his stick in the corner and really had to do a nice job to get out onside to take that puck.
Shot, tough angle. They're doing it. The chance. Got the puck again. His shot blocked and threw down the ice by Hansen. Back for it for the Avs. Dropped it from Lyles. Stolen away by the Canucks. Back to the point. Right on the blue line. Shot through a lot of traffic. Got blocked in front. Now Ultra turns. Handoff. Pass to the right point. Now over to the left side. Got around behind the net. And taken back by the Avs. Shattenkirk. Moving out towards center ice. Weaving his way through. He'll dump it in. The Vancouver zone as they cross the red line. Canucks now start their breakout. Tip towards center. O'Reilly for the Avalanche. Hannon for Colorado. And the puck is shot in high. Schneider will drop it behind the net. Slapped around by Keith Ballard. Not out. Pullis holds it in for the Avalanche. To the point. Shot saved by Yip. O'Reilly looks. Surveys. Sends the puck down the slot. Rome defenseman trying to clear. Initially couldn't do it. Couldn't do it on the second try either. Winnick has it. Chase down in the corner. Powers his way to the front. Turns. And gets checked. Rome will lift the puck down the ice. But it will result in icing calls. So Vancouver won't be able to get those players who have been out there a while off the ice.
So there's Alex Burrows. As you see, Hollis does a nice job of not. Hollis does a nice job of not taking a penalty. That was a real nice job. And then this line. The O'Reilly line with Winnick and Yip, which has had 3 consecutive strong shifts, been the best Avalanche group to start this game.
Stastny on the draw, backhanded across the ice. Samuelson will get to it first for Vancouver. Shoots into the Avalanche zone, no icing on the play. Raymond and Shattenkirk back to the puck. Clearing attempt, caught a skate behind the net. Raymond, wraparound try, sails through. Back to the far point. Alberts. Cross-ice pass for Burrows. Scooped around and behind the net. Back to the near side for Kessler. To the point. The exit. Pass. Comes over to Burrows. Kept it alive. Shot stick save made by Budaj on Kessler's bid.
You can see the aggressive nature of the Canucks defense. They just stay in. They keep that puck in the zone.
Benjamin Kevin the exit. Drops the puck in the corner. Rolled back behind the net for Daniel Sedin. Front backhand try. Didn't get through. Kept in by the Canucks. Henrik Sedin to the corner for the puck. Put back around, but waiting on the far side is Chris Stewart of the Avalanche. In the last 90 seconds of the first period. 16-8 shot advantage for the Canucks. Hansen rolling in, winds, and heeled the stick. Apparently broke the stick on the shot. And the Avalanche will march out to center. Pass taken on the backhand by David Jones. Trying to cut his way in. Aroff didn't let it happen. Vancouver has the puck. Henrik Sedin makes the pass. Hansen sends it ahead. Hansen down the slot. There's the pass to him. It got through. Budaj kicked the puck away. Duchesne counters the other way for the Avalanche. Final minute in the first period with Vancouver leading 1-0. Now Ultra. Punch the puck ahead through center ice on a hop. Glass sends it off the boards to the corner and behind the net. Hit by Shattenkirk. Puck loosened up around the boards. Avalanche trying to clear. They're able to do so. Vancouver again in possession. There's the last 17 seconds. Blast through center ice. Pass through the circle. Brought in offside. Kessler just a little bit ahead of the play. And the play offside Vancouver. Brendan Morrow and the Dallas Stars will be here on Saturday at the Pepsi Center. You can get your tickets by calling 303-53-HORSE.
Well, this period very similar to the first period between these clubs last game. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the shots were 16-8 for Vancouver in the first period of that game. And then the Avalanche from that point on sort of took over. But for the Vancouver Canucks.
Shot saved by Budaj. And he holds on. That was actually the 18th shot of the period for Vancouver. The Avs ended up in that game last week out shooting the Canucks 39-31 when the game was done.
Yeah, they really came on and played well late. And Peter Budaj, as he did against Columbus, is having a very strong first period. Just that power play goal by Kessler. But the Canucks have had some good chances, especially down low. And that's where they have a lot of guys that can score down low. So it's been a good period for Peter Budaj.
Canucks won the draw. Chance for one last shot. Sails wide. The horn sounds, and we have ended the first period of play. Well, before the game started, we're looking forward to two teams that can score, can really skate, some scoring chances, and we've got just one goal to talk about.
Well, for the Vancouver Canucks, they know the Avalanche come into tonight. Most goals per game of any club in the league. You want to shut them down. Well, don't give them the blue line. Don't let them get into the zone. They did a nice job of that.
The only goal on the power play from Ryan Kessler, the Vancouver Canucks, from the Sedins at 3:14. You're watching the Avs on altitude. Stay tuned. Coming up after the break, the Toyota Intermission Report. Thank you for watching the Toyota Intermission Report. And now we get you back to the Pepsi Center and the Toyota Tacoma. It's from Toyota's rugged truck lineup. Vancouver used their one power play opportunity during the first period to score a goal, and that is the only goal that we've had so far through the first 20 minutes of play. Ryan Kessler scoring for the Canucks, who lead the Avalanche 1-0 after one period of play. Peter Budaj certainly busy during that first period of play, wasn't he?
Yeah, 24 shots on goal, or 26 shots on goal, pardon me, and Peter Budaj certainly the busier of the two, 18 shots directed towards him. But he was good. And when you watch the saves again, you get back to the positioning of Peter Budaj, solid in the first period, but just the overall focus and the flexibility, especially on this play right here as he comes across and just throws that right pad out there. Just a real solid save. At the other end, Corey Schneider, who is in his first road game for Vancouver Canucks this year. Mike, that is now 8 periods of hockey for Corey Schneider, where he is allowed but 2 goals in the entire 8 periods. So again, talking to the Vancouver Canucks people just between the periods, he is going to be a #1 in the league. And the word they used was "and soon."
Wow. Here we go. Second period has begun. The Avalanche and the Vancouver Canucks. A lot of shots from the Canucks in that first period. We have an injury. Chris Stewart worked his way to the bench, and Chris Stewart is now limping his way into the Avalanche locker room. Colorado with the puck, attempting to get out of the zone. Centering pass, shot blocked. Avalanche get a hold of the puck for a moment. Give it back to the Canucks, to the point. Big drive by Alberts, and it is deflected into the screen, out of play, and TJ Gagliardi is slow in getting up. So that top line for the Avalanche, a couple of injuries there. But Chris Stewart, Peter, did you have a good look at what happened?
Well, yeah, I saw it happen right down below us. As you're going to see the top part of your screen, watch Stewart come across. He just goes in, he's going to get bumped, and he went in. And when he got up, I watched him go down the runway with Matt Sokolowski. And Mike, he just basically got to the end of the runway and stopped, and just sort of went down, and then was taken into the locker room. So, who knows? But I mean, it just One of those collision plays where a big guy, two big guys go in, and a lot of times it just is somebody doesn't come out of it.
Chris Stewart currently in the Avalanche locker room. The Canucks leading 1-0, just beginning play in the second period. Offside. Vancouver.
Oh, here's another look at it, and it's just, as we mentioned, it's just two big, strong guys. Adler's big, strong, and Stewart goes in, and the minute he got up, he knew that something wasn't quite right. So for Joe Sacco, who has relied on Chris Stewart to be that, with Stastny, that offensive force night in, night out, now he's got to find somebody else.
One pass through center, hopped over the stick of Henrik Sedin, results in an icing call on Vancouver.
As you look at the month of October for Chris Stewart, and this is in Avalanche history. Goals scored: Forsberg, Sakic, Hejduk, Volsky. Big names, important names for this Colorado Avalanche, and he's right there with them.
Tip to the corner. Played back to the far side, centering pass, comes across, wild turn, shoots. Save made by Schneider. Back behind the net. Ballard trying to hold off Brandon Yip. Turned off the boards by Henrik Sedin for Alec Burrows. Launched out to center, but Lyles waiting with the glove to flag the puck down. Snapped off the boards. Tipped back through center ice. Yip. Lead pass over the line. Winnick in. Tough angle off the side of the net. Canucks end up with the puck from behind their own net. Carried to center ice by Burrows. Poke check. Daniel Sedin had the puck. Covered by Burrows. Ballard. Long pass to center. Handle will take it back for the Avalanche. The puck in. And around to the near side to Quay. Shot gets blocked. Vandergovic hustle to keep the puck in the Vancouver zone. 1-0 Canucks. 19-11 shot advantage for Vancouver early in the second period. Handed back, and another icing call on Vancouver. Let's check in ringside. Here is Peter Rutkin. Peter?
Thank you very much, Mike. We'll try to find out what's the situation with Chris Stewart. As for the Vancouver Canucks, Guillaume Debian, he was in a fight in that first period, you might recall, with Cody McLeod. He went to get x-rays here at the Pepsi Center. He will not return. That right hand of his did not look very good. Mike, back to you.
Peter, what he's talking about, getting x-rays here. Yes, actually right here at the Pepsi Center, they can go down, they have the x-rays. And what that does is allows the team to look and see, okay, is it broken? Is it a situation where it's just bruised? What is going on?
There's puck shot, save, and then pushed in to Peter Budaj. And the net dislodged. Whistle has been blown. Is it going to be a penalty?
Yes, going to be a penalty on the Avalanche.
Colorado number 26, minor penalty hooking.
Here's a replay of it. Is just a nice job. Like, it's interesting. There's been, since last Saturday when the Avalanche played against Columbus, there's been 6 penalty shots. Guess how many scored? 6.
6 for
All
6.
6 for 6 shooters finally dominating the game the way they should.
The way that it was meant to be.
Exactly.
Vancouver power play chance. Stastny in the penalty box.
Like, I just got to get this in quickly for Avalanche fans. Stewart back on the bench for the Avalanche.
Great news. Back to the point. Aroff shot missed. To the point. Aroff holds the puck in. Flips across. Pass to the far circle. Henrik Sedin high in the slot for Aroff. Blind shoot. Saved by Budaj. Henrik Sedin gets that big rebound. Gets the pass back from Aroff. 35 seconds into the penalty on Paul Stastny. Canucks up 1-0. Another power play chance. Henrik Sedin, tough angle.
He did it on purpose.
Yeah, he did. He threw it off of Peter Budaj, kind of bobbled up in the air, maybe even hit another Avalanche player. Nonetheless, it ends up in the back of the net. Henrik Sedin should get credit for it. And it is another power play goal for the Canucks. Let's watch, Peter, how indeed he did this on purpose.
You see him wait, and he just fires it out front, and certainly he gets a good bounce, because You're going to see Ryan Wilson come in, Ryan O'Reilly right there, and hits off the top of Peter Budaj's head. Now, I take that back. I think he was trying to bounce it possibly off of Budaj, but he did not mean for it to chip off the head of Peter Budaj. But again, that power play for the Vancouver Canucks.
Turnover. Here's the chance. Glove save made by Schneider as Duchesne took a turnover from the Vancouver Canucks and walked right in.
Now this developing into his team for Matt Duchesne. Matt Duchesne, who has 4 goals in 7 games against these Vancouver Canucks. And Mike, that doesn't even account that shootout goal that got the Avalanche into the playoffs last year.
Jones from behind the net for the Avs. Walks out in front. He shoots. And once again, Corey Schneider. He's really showing tonight why he had such success in the American Hockey League level playing for the Manitoba Moose.
And why the Vancouver Canucks are so comfortable putting him in one thing. And why they really feel that for Roberto Luongo, who has always been that 65, 70, 75 game guy, maybe it's right off to 55, 58 games.
Shot behind the net. It is tied up right at the side of the Vancouver net. And there you see number 25 for the Avs, and that's good news for Colorado fans. Chris Stewart, who left earlier in this period, limping off the ice, back on.
He is just, I mean, you can just feel, even off ice, the maturity of Chris Stewart. Just talking to him this morning, he's one of those guys, he looks you right in the eye. When you talk to him, I mean, he answers the question.
Here's another injury as Paul Stastny, John Michael Lyles, took the hard shot from the point. It caught Stastny. And Matt Sokolowski races out onto the ice to attend to Paul Stastny.
Oh, Mike, did that hit him? It hit him high.
Yeah,
he was pushed over and fell, but he was falling back as the shot came through. And anytime you see the referees know what's going on the ice. And the minute that puck hit, the referee was calling for the trainer.
All 3 of the top line for the Avalanche have been hurt to some different degrees during this second period. Stewart, Stastny both have gone to the locker rooms. Gagliardi on a play, slow in getting up.
It was last game against Vancouver that Stastny got hit with an elbow.
And the last game that Greg Anderson was hurt before the game.
These Canucks are a dangerous team.
Samuelson for Vancouver. Steps around a check. Goes to the head. Taken back by the Avs. Golfed to the near side by Stewart. Puts the puck in. Schneider looks the puck to the corner. 2-0 Vancouver. Alberts. First period power play goal from Ryan Kesler. Second period power play goal from Henrik Sedin. Daniel Sedin has an assist on both of those goals. He's got 2 points in the game. Center. Alberts across the rink. Tipped back into the Vancouver zone. 5 minutes into the second period. 2-0 Vancouver. Kesler. Handoff to Raymond. Works his way to the half boards. Slices away through Gagliardi, and Duchesne teamed up on him. Gagliardi makes the pass to Duchesne, trying to push his way through. Ballard stood up, wouldn't let him get past. They race back to the Vancouver, into the Colorado zone. Vancouver's Daniel Sedin arrives in the corner. Puck worked free by Henrik Sedin. Centering pass in front by Daniel Sedin for Burroughs. The Avalanche end up with the puck. Will flip through the center circle. Hayduck in, offside. Avalanche.
Well, let's look around the NHL as far as brothers and the scoring race amongst brothers. Henrik and Daniel Sedin, 29 points, but look at Chris and Anthony Stewart. They have 24 points. The Koivu brothers 16. The Ryan and Cal O'Reilly fourth with 14. Eric and Mark Stahl. Pretty good battle up top between the Stewarts and the Sedins.
Is that Drew and Ryan Miller, the goaltender for Buffalo? Drew might have to carry the load there.
He may have to.
They have accumulated for 1 point in this season. Cody Lexus inviting you to see the luxury all-wheel drive sedans for 2011. It's available at Cody Lexus of Littleton and Colorado Springs. Luxury has an address. Cody Lexus on South Broadway in Littleton and at the top of Motor City in Colorado Springs. Face-off control by the Canucks. Now Holter, best in the league at winning face-offs, won that one cleanly. Avalanche though retrieve the puck. Pushed on for Quincy. Goes down to the ice. Followed up though by O'Reilly. Pushed in behind the net. Christian Ehrhoff, defenseman for the Canucks, leading the way. Makes the long pass for Torres. The puck to the corner. Tipped up high, walked the glass in that far corner. Torres scoops the puck behind the net. Canucks get to it first. Pass back to the point. After it was blocked by Lippiton. Avalanche move the puck to center ice. Pushed in from center by Winnick. And Rome will come back to grab the puck for Vancouver. Long pass through center. Tipped on in by the Canucks. It actually goes into the screen. Out of play. Allows us to step aside for a moment. Vancouver up 2-0 over the Avalanche.
Welcome back, everybody. Vancouver leading here in the second period by a score of 2-0. You notice something different with Ryan O'Reilly? Well, he's taken off his face shield. He told me after practice on Monday he feels a lot more comfortable without the shield, and he notices he doesn't get as many high sticks anymore. Now, over the years, the NHL has talked about mandating face shields. Daniel Winnick, who's wearing a full shield right now to protect a broken nose, says that will not happen because the players and the NHLPA want to make that call on their own regarding face shields. Mike, back to you.
Thank you very much, Peter. Now Paul Stastny back out on the ice. You've seen two Avalanche players in this period. Chris Stewart, Paul Stastny, both going to the Avalanche locker room due to injuries, but both returning in the second period. Kevin Shattenkirk, first National Hockey League game. Pass across for John Michael Lyles to the red line. Punched in over the line. Stastny moving in. Pass in the slot. Broken up. Chance down low. And sent up high. Off the screen. Out of play. Looked like a wide open net chance for Colorado.
Oh, Stewart coming across, and the puck comes to Stastny, and it's just deflected at the last minute. Who got their stick on it? Coming across right here. I think that was Schneider's left pad. Puck comes across. I think Schneider got his left pad on it.
Canucks continue to lead the game 2-0. Kesler, Henrik Sedin with the power play goals. Avalanche been outshot in this game 22-13. Sent down the ice. Could be an icing call. It is on Vancouver. Stopping play with 12:22 to go in the second period.
The last game for the Vancouver Canucks. They won 4-3 in Edmonton. And Le Vignon, Rafi Torres, number 13 for the Vancouver Canucks. One of the strangest things I've seen, Mike. He had a hat trick against the Edmonton Oilers. He was a former Edmonton Oiler. He became the first Edmonton Oiler to ever have a hat trick in returning to Edmonton. That's Messier, Cox, Anderson, Curry, all of those guys. None of those guys
Gretzky.
Gretzky. I mean, it doesn't seem possible.
No, it doesn't. Rafi Torres with that hat trick returning to the Oilers. First ever. Wow. Into the corner. Wow. Checked hard by Kesler. The puck wrestled free off those boards, and Kesler and Lyles still trying to peel away from each other. Meanwhile, the puck moving up the ice into the Vancouver zone. At its center, brought in by Henrik Sedin. Gave it off to Raymond. Circles right around. Oh, what a save by Peter Budaj. It looked like a sure goal for Raymond. Brings it back in. Bounced ahead. Delay offside on the Canucks. Avalanche get possession. Crowd still buzzing up that save a moment ago from Peter Budaj. All right, let's look at how that happened.
Well, Mason Raymond, who was the hero last game in overtime for the Vancouver Canucks, right here, it looks like for sure. And Budaj, again, it's the quickness to get back. I mean, he just slid the paddle of his stick right along the ice. Oh, Mom and Dad will be proud they're here watching him play tonight.
Sedin moves the puck through center ice, deflected back into the Vancouver zone. 2-0 lead for the Canucks. So often we talked about Greg Anderson last year and those saves in those 2-0 games that keep you in.
Here's, boy, I'll tell you, this is one of those plays where for a defenseman, the league, you know, what they have stopped now is no one is allowed to hold up Kessler. And this is one of the things that defensemen will tell you. It has made their job just that much tougher. There is no sort of support for a hit like that. You look around, you go, oh my gosh, I'm just going to get hammered.
Shot by Gagliardi blocked. And you're going to get hit. So now these seamless glass in most of the arenas now. It's like hitting cement. Backhanded behind the net. Hansen after it. Knocked down. Stewart for the Avalanche with the puck. Cutting across. Turns, looks, slides it to the far point. Tipped in front, but wide. Lifted up by Torres. It's a race out to center ice. Hansen against Hullas. Hullas puts the brakes on. So does Hansen, who gets the puck over to Henrik Sedin. Makes the pass across for Torres. It was tipped. Avalanche hustle back the other way. 10:20 to go. Second period. Bucks lead by 2. 2-zip is the score. Albert to center ice. Push crossing at the line. Brought in onside. Shot by Malhotra, and the save made by the goaltender Peter Budaj.
Yeah, when you look at these two clubs, we talk about the power play for the Vancouver Canucks, and they have the 2 goals in tonight's game. There's Raffi Torres right there, signed as a free agent. The Vancouver Canucks wanting to add size and depth, especially to their third line. They get Raffi Torres. I love this number. He's 6 foot, 220 pounds. I mean, he's just a load. And then Malhotra, who is 6'2", 6'3", 210-pound center iceman. So they did a nice job over the summer of adding those experienced guys for that third line.
Reached the halfway point of regulation. 10 minutes to go, second period. John Michael Lyles, Kevin Shattenkirk, the defense. The Avs up front. Winnick, Jones, and O'Reilly. Winnick with the puck cutting in, centered across and off a skate. Lyles with a chance, had to deflect. Burrows shoots the puck to center. Little flip pass by Daniel Sedin for Henrik. Shoots it in on target. Budaj makes the save. Shattenkirk pass up ice. Leaving his way through. Daniel Winnick walks in. Hand off. David Jones with a chance, and the stick save made by Schneider. Pass up ice for Raymond. Now the game opening up a little bit here in the second period. Raymond, center, shot, deflected wide into the corner. Samuelson with Hullas on him, centering pass in the slot. Raymond dances over a stick, gets a shot on targets, and Budaj covers the loose puck to stop the play. We'll return in a moment to Denver. Vancouver has the lead. On Monday, Boulder playing in the Denver Junior Pioneers. Last 4 seconds of the game, and Boulder is headed to the Quebec International Pee Wee Hockey Tournament. Largest, probably the most prestigious Pee Wee tournament in the world. You're talking about 110 teams, 11 and 12-year-old hockey players from 16 countries. I mean, it's fantastic. Congratulations to the Boulder Bison.
And it's in and around, we talked about it before, in and around the Quebec City. In Quebec, and the great part about it is there's no hotels, there's no, they're not staying fancy places. Every player is building it out to a family in the Quebec City area, and the kids all come back with such unbelievable stories and friendships from this tournament.
Tucked in by the Avalanche into the Vancouver zone. Begin play again in the second period. Loose puck backhander up high by McLeod. Covered by the goaltender Corey Schneider. And things get a little feisty. What's on tap for the Avs? Presented by Coors Light. Please join us again Saturday night. The Avalanche will host the Dallas Stars on All Access Night. We'll have complete coverage starting at 6:30. Altitude 2 is the place to check in.
Well, the Dallas Stars' big win last night against Pittsburgh 5-2. Amazing how one guy can have a fight, and it's the biggest story in hockey the next day. Sidney Crosby. And it's not like he doesn't fight. It's his 5th fight that he's had. I mean, the guy just plays hard.
In by Quincy around behind the net. even strength situations. It's just been one power play. Here in the second period, Stastny was called for hooking, resulted in a power play goal for Henrik Sedin. That made it 2-0. That's where we're at. Edler makes the pass to center ice, brought in by the Canucks. Tip towards the net. Buda will hold the puck and stop the play.
And Michael, just want to take a chance to wish Jesse Martin, DU winger, who on last Saturday at North Dakota was hit by Avalanche draft choice Brad Malone and broke 3 bones in his neck. He will have surgery tomorrow. George Gwozdecki has been, he's been in Minneapolis where they have moved Jesse Martin. And again, just talking to the players, they wanted to send along their very best wishes. It has been a horrific time for the family of Jesse Martin. They were in Las Vegas, I understand, and they got the news and flew in. And it has been, fortunately, at the time it happened, it looked really bad. Hopefully, not their career. We certainly don't know, but it looks like hopefully he is going to be, after recovery, going to be all right. Just everyone wants to keep their fingers crossed.
Nothing else to say, but we just wish the best for him and his family. Henrik Sedin makes the pass. Shot sails high and around. Daniel Sedin without a helmet. Let the puck get past him. Edler couldn't deliver back to Daniel Sedin. Stastny working his way in. Dumps the puck right off the back of the Vancouver cage. 7:15 to play, second period. Backhand save made by Snyder. Clearing attempt kept in. Bouncing puck, far side. Stewart. McLeod.
McLeod, Stastny,
and Stewart out for the Avalanche. That's the forward line. Back on defense, it's Hillis and Hannon. McLeod gives chase. He'll catch up with the puck. Whipped it behind the net. Stastny all by himself behind the Vancouver net. Put out in front. Cleared. Hillis had pinched in from the point. Kept in by the Avalanche. Good hard work right now going for the Avs. But the Canucks end up with the puck. Daniel Sedin couldn't get through center ice. Lifted back in. Again, the Avs persevere. Instant play. Cleared around the boards. Waiting far side. Canucks. Shot in from center ice. Flipped around the boards. Took back the other way and back out to center ice. Ballard dropped it in between the circles in the Colorado zone. Flipped it back to center. Less than 6 minutes remaining in the period. The Canucks up 2-0. Back to the point. The exit. The puck to the corner. Schaefer for Vancouver to the point. The exit. Wound up. Now gets a shot through, and it sails through the crease and wide. To the point. Shot by Malhotra. Gets tipped up into the screen and out of play. Gives us a chance to step aside for a moment. Vancouver continues to lead 2-0.
Mike, one of the most interesting guys to talk to about the art of goaltending. And you look at now where he sits amongst goaltenders. Started with this club. This has been their club. They drafted in Martin Brodeur, DiPietro, Ryan Miller, Fleury, and then Peter Budaj, 6 years with the Avalanche, 9 years in the organization. Remember, his first 3 years he played in Hershey. So this is a guy that, this is his team. And I think that's one of the reasons why this summer, when he signed the contract, was with the Avalanche, because this is his team.
Brought in over the line by Lyle. Broken up by the Canucks. Launched back the other way. It's a race. And Peter Budaj tipped the puck towards the boards. Maybe coming back for it. Raymond. Pass deflected. Avalanche gather the puck. Carried to center. 3-on-2 developing. Hayduk coming in. Hayduk makes the pass. The shot up high. And off of the goaltender, Corey Schneider. Into the corner. Hayduk. Now with Winnick and O'Reilly. Shot through center ice. Back into the Vancouver zone. It will be icing Vancouver. Hit rock bottom and try one of the new cold weather classics and seasonal sips. You can check out all the details at rockbottom.com.
Well, for the Avalanche, one of the players that really is on a roll. We talked about Stewart, and of course Stastny playing well, but Milan Hayduk, number 23 for the Avs, who had 2 beautiful assists, one on Jones' goal and then Duchesne's last game.
Great effort by Kessler to get to that puck. Long shot, tipped by the extra, and up into the screen, out of play.
Talking about the two power play goals, as we mentioned, for Vancouver. This is where the Avalanche have been at their best all season, 5-on-5. They have 28 5-on-5 goals. That's the most in the league. They're plus 10. And I think that their ratio of goals for and against 5-on-5 is 4th best in the league. So the Avalanche, and you have to give Vancouver Canucks credit, they're doing a good job of not allowing the Avalanche to get that much pressure.
Pass to center ice, lifted in by Torres. Knocked down with a glove in the circles by David Lipperton. Mentioned for the Avalanche. 4:15 to go. Second period, 2-0 Vancouver. Torres backhands the puck towards the corner. Lipperton run at by Hansen. Canucks try to hold the puck in. Cleared out to center ice by the Avs. Back into the Vancouver zone. Alberts wants the long pass across. Shot ahead, tipped deep into the Colorado end, and Budaj has not had to been too busy in the last 10 minutes.
The game has been played primarily in the neutral zone for both of these clubs.
26 shots for Vancouver, 18 for the Avs. Vancouver had 2 goals. Kessler and Henrik Sedin both on the power play. Kessler's in the first period. Sedin's in the second. Glove save made by Schneider. Face-off 4-pack on sale for the Avs and Calgary Flames next Tuesday. You get 4 tickets, 4 roast beef sandwiches, 4 small fries, 4 small Pepsis, and a $10 Altitude Authentics gift card. It's only $99.
Well, Calgary comes to town for that game, and we're hoping it's as exciting as a game in Calgary.
Oh, man.
That was the most exciting game of the season.
5 wins for the Avs. Peter's favorite hockey score is 5-4, so it's even better. 6-5.
The more, the better.
That's right. Avalanche defenseman Scott Hannon looking up. It's the pass across the ice. Raider, nice pass, and a redirect by O'Reilly. Grabbed it along the near side, winning. Short pass, the point up high. Shattenkirk sent it off the glass. Reynolds around the near side, winning. Down low, O'Reilly. With the puck dancing the top of the circle. Handoff goes to Hayduk. Good puck movement. This line really moving the puck around. Shattenkirk shoots it wide, tipped at the side of the net. And covered there by the goaltender, Schneider. Well, all of a sudden, things picking up a little bit for the Avalanche, especially on that last line.
And like the names that you're calling, all kinds of different line combinations for the Avs here in this second period. Shattenkirk throws it just off the wall to bounce in front. Like last game, someone took a shot from the point, and there must have been 10, 11, 12, 10 or 12. I don't know how 11 would be possible. 10 or 12 legs to shoot through. So that pass. I don't know how many out of that one. There's no out there, is there? No, it's not. Kind of stuck over there.
I've got nothing to cover you there, Peter.
You better not.
Yeah. Moving along.
I know who you mean.
Knew exactly what you're talking about.
Here we go.
Raymond at the puck in the corner. Trying to hand it off around behind the net for Kessler. Trying to step out in front. Shot across the crease and wide. At the point, Alberts would come in, finds Raymond, put it behind the net for Hansen. Drops it back in the corner, Kessler. 90 seconds to go in the period. Smacked around to the near wing. Coming down the boards, Alberts with the puck. Doing around again. This time it's the Canucks who are controlling things. Back to the point. Near side at the half boards for Alberts. Shot, hat save made by Budaj. Lifted out to center ice. Next will back up. 65 seconds to go in the period. Alberts drills the puck into the corner. Under a minute remaining. And the puck squirts free. Vancouver with possession. Yip makes a hit. It's going to be a penalty on Brandon Yip for his hit on Hansen. Out to center ice, Torres has the puck. The late penalty on the Avalanche. Cross ice pass. Henrik Sedin just comes out onto the ice from the bench. Cross ice, Albert. Nice pass, shot. Oh, man, it went wide. And then touched by the Avalanche. And that draws the whistle. Almost had a delayed penalty goal there for Vancouver. We'll now have a power play with 33 seconds to go in the period.
On the power play, this has been where they have been effective here tonight offensively. So this becomes a crucial point in this game. The Avs need to kill off Yip's penalty. The Vancouver Canucks, they have, you know, it's just, again, it's just that idea. Do not let the Sedins get the puck. Good face-off win by the Avalanche. Keep that puck out of the offensive zone.
20 seconds to go in the period. Brandon Yip, a cross-checking penalty in 1927 is giving Vancouver this power play chance. And it slaps the puck out. Maybe time if Vancouver really hustles for another chance. 4 seconds to go. There's a shot saved by Budaj, and that'll do it. Power play will continue into the third period for Vancouver. Will also take a 2-0 lead into the third period.
Now, the Canucks have done a nice job with the lead, controlling the pace of the game. The Avalanche had a few chances on Corey Schneider, who has been perfect here again tonight.
After 2 periods, Vancouver's got a 2-0 lead. You're watching the Avalanche on Altitude Sports and Entertainment. Don't go anywhere. We've got the Subaru Intermission Report coming up next. Colorado Avalanche hockey on Altitude is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Peerless Tire. When you need tires for less, come to Peerless. Tires for less. And by your local Mazda dealers. Visit a showroom and test drive the smarter, more efficient 2010 CX-9. Vancouver added a power play goal in the second period. They had the lead 2-0 as we head toward the third period of play at the Pepsi Center in Denver, Colorado. Well, what needs to be done differently for the Avalanche come third period?
I don't think the Avalanche want to do a whole lot differently other than play as they played several times when they've been down by 2 goals. You have to just press the offense. You have to keep moving, get the puck out of the zone, and have the defenseman jump up into the play. And this is where that experience of the Avalanche coming from behind in games. Last year we saw it, certainly earlier this season, when you're down by a couple of goals. But right off the bat, they've got to kill that penalty.
Let's talk about Kevin Shattenkirk playing his first ever National Hockey League game tonight. How's he done?
He's looked good. 15 minutes of ice time so far. That is, I think, maybe a little bit more than expected had Ryan Wilson been healthy and ready to go into tonight's game. But he's looked good. He drew a penalty. He was jumping up into the play. Here's a play in the first period that we highlighted where he was aggressive offensively, set to shoot the puck, not waiting, not sitting around, just unloads it on net. And I think for Kevin Shattenkirk, he hasn't been on the ice for a goal against at even strength, and those are the things that you look at. A couple of hits, both coming in the first period. So I would say it has to be a real positive to this point for Shattenkirk.
Third period starts. Canucks up 2-0, now shooting the Avs 29-20. There is a power play continuing from the second period into the third for Vancouver. Brandon Yip was called for a cross-checking at the 1927 mark in the second. He sits in the penalty box. The Canucks, who are 2 for 2 with power play chances in this game, and 3 for 5 against the Avs already this season. Ice the puck. Play comes to a stop. We'll go down to the corner ringside with Peter Rutgazer. Peter?
Thank you very much, Mike. I had a chance to talk to assistant coach Sylvain Lefebvre there in the intermission, and he says not very happy with the way his team is playing. He feels they're turning the puck over way too many times in the neutral zone, and the Canucks, with their speed, they're getting too many chances on those turnovers. Wants to see the team put pucks in deep, get on the Vancouver defense, put some pressure on them, and try to take advantage and get back in this game. Mike, back up to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Peter. We'll see if that can happen for the Avalanche. Take a poke check at center, but Ehrhoff recovers. Getting deeper back into his own zone. David Jones watching ever so closely. Makes the outlet pass and zooming through center. Canucks bring the puck in. Mason Raymond brought it in, but it's an offside play on Vancouver. Brandon Yip continues to serve his penalty.
And just checking on some numbers in that second period for Matt Duchene, as we talked about the different line combinations for the Colorado Avalanche. Did not see a lot of ice time in that second period as Joe Sacco going with those guys you feel that are really going in tonight's game.
15 seconds remaining in Yip's penalty. Avalanche looking for the first goal of the game. Kill off the rest of this penalty. Get the offense cranked up in the third period. Rome sweeps the puck across the exit. Quick little pass. Canucks really moving it around. Shots and walking through the eye wide. Yip is out of the penalty box. And the Canucks are 2 for 3. Power play chances in the game. Chance in front, swept away. O'Reilly will chase the puck down. Equivalent one power play shot in the last 2-minute sequence. Still lead this game 2-0. Shot out of play, but I believe it went off an Avalanche player or stick, so there's no penalty call.
Right now, the Avalanche want to build on that. You know, in the locker room between periods, Joe Sacco was not happy with this hockey club, the way they were playing. I mean, the Vancouver Canucks have walked in here tonight and had done a real good job in all aspects of the game. They slowed the play down to the neutral zone. The Avalanche kind of come up with night to skate. They need to have more pressure in this third period.
And trying to hold the puck in, but it's punched back the other way. Lyles backing up into his own zone. Having the pass stolen away by the Canucks, Alex Burrows. And Becker smoothly took away the puck, but then backhands it over the glass. That's a penalty on the rookie. Don't miss Avalanche All Access, the show that takes you behind the scenes. You'll learn more about the Avs on Avalanche All Access, Mondays at 6 here on Altitude. So Kevin Shattenkirk with his first NHL penalty. Delay of game is the call. And the Canucks go back to work on the power play. Fourth of the game. 2 for 3, but it's the Avs who have possession of the puck. Winnick crisscrossing with O'Reilly, holds on to the puck. Gets towards the corner. Gets checked. Battling hard, trying to keep it alive. Got it back to the point. The shot gets blocked. Kessler moves to center ice. Ice. Back into the high slot for Daniel Sedin to Henry. Works his way to the half boards. Power play chance for the Canucks to lead 2-0 in the third period over the Avalanche. Shot tips by Henrik Sedin, but wide. Daniel finds Henrik. Up the boards for Daniel. He has 4 power play goals this season for the Canucks to lead them. Henrik Sedin. Goal and assist. Daniel Sedin with 2 assists. Pass to the point for Ehrhoff, dribbled off his stick into the center zone. Quickly, the Canucks get back in. Pass picked off, cleared. At the center ice by Jones.
Doing a good job of not allowing the Sedins to control the play, but how much confidence do they have? They had the puck inside the zone, and they took it outside the zone twice, and then reestablished possession in the Avalanche zone.
Samuelson, shot tipped. Goes wide to the corner. Back to the high slot. Rome down the near boards for Raymond. That puck really moves around a lot on this power play for Vancouver to the point. Rome shot tip, score. Rafi Torres with a redirection. He'll get credit for the goal. His 7th goal of the season by Torres, and another power play goal for the Canucks. They lead 3-0.
Well, the defense, when we talked about offense from the defense, and tonight's game, the Vancouver Canucks, on each one of the power play goal, it's been a defenseman that's been part. Right there, just a terrific job by Torres, who scored a goal much similar to that against the Edmonton Oilers last game. Now has, as you mentioned, Mike, 7 goals in the season, but 4 in the last couple of games on the road for Vancouver, where Vancouver was one game under 500 last season, and that's an area they really wanted to improve on.
Came into this game 1-3-1 on the road. And right now with a 3-0 lead. 15:45 to go in the third period. Bounces toward Budaj, and he took it on a hop, then almost lost it, but is able to play it off. The near side boards sent down the ice by Stastny, gloved by Schneider.
Well, for Henriksen, who we talked about was MVP of the league last year, and you can see why. You know, there was a lot of talk that it was going to go to Ovechkin again, but his season was so dominant. I mean, just right down to the last game of the season where he was in a real race for the point totals, and he had 4 points in the last game to go just win it. Just a great season.
That's his first save made by Schneider. Lippiton right at the blue line, not able to hold the puck in, offside Colorado.
Well, it's been a power play and Schneider that have been effective tonight, or impressive, I guess is maybe a better word for these Vancouver Canucks. There's been that quick play right there where he is right on the corner of the net. If he's pulled away at all, that's going to be a quick turnover goal for the Avalanche. It gets them back in the game. But we talked about the first 7 periods of hockey coming into tonight's game. He had allowed 2 goals, both those goals coming at home. And now we've played over 2 periods of hockey here, and
he's been impressive.
He really, it's been solid, impressive, and as someone was saying, every shot seemed to hit him right in the logo.
It's a power play chance for the Avalanche, down 3-0 in the third period. Hard shot, did not get through that pile of bodies right in front between the circles. Shattenkirk comes up with a loose puck for the Avs. Threw out in front, chance for Quincy, save, and the rebound bouncing around, and hand pass called on the Avs. That'll move the face-off down the ice. You can see the indication from the referee.
Here is the penalty. The Avalanche were screaming right off the bat. The Exa just grabs it and throws it out of the zone. He had lost his stick, so.
Close the hand on the puck.
When a hockey player loses his stick, bad things happen, doesn't it?
Seems inevitable. Power play continues to the Avs. The Exa in the penalty box, closing his hand on the puck. Power play number 2 for the Avs. Long, short-handed shot by Anson, and Budaj forced to hold on to the puck. Face-off in the Colorado zone. Low prices, fast service since 1949. When you need tires for less, come to Peerless Tires for Less. 28 Colorado locations. Peerless Tires for Less. On the power play. Trailing 3-0 third period. Stastny behind his back. Picked off Kessler. Send the puck down the ice. Avalanche were 0 for 2 in the first meeting of the year on the power play against Vancouver. 0 for 1 so far tonight. Stastny, the heel of the stick, but kept the puck alive. Hayduk, Stewart, Stastny, Pulis, and Lyle. Wraparound save made. Rebound off the logo of goaltender Corey Schneider.
Just talking to some of the Vancouver people, they were saying that he went down. He was Boston College. He was spectacular there, and then when he got down to Manitoba, he had been so used to playing every game that he kind of, the coach Scott Arneal, who's now coach of Columbus, told him and said, "Hey son, a little more effort here, in practice," and he has learned how to. He's mastered the art of practicing well, which is key for any goaltender now in the NHL. And we're seeing here tonight why they're so high on Schneider, but it's almost gotten to the point now, like you say, what do you do? I mean, what did you go 50-50 with Luongo? Luongo has got a 12-year contract with the Vancouver Canucks. What is the state of where Schneider fits in for this Vancouver club? Is he that final trade guy? Would you made the big trade for the big player just at the right time of the season? But again, as we mentioned, this Vancouver Canuck club is a team that...
What happens if he continues to win you games? That's what the coach cares about.
Exactly. And again, all of these things because, Corey Schneider, he's just been rock solid in this game. The Vancouver Canucks have played well 5-on-5, but any chance the Avalanche have had, he has been right there, square, strong, and seemingly in perfect position.
And what makes it also interesting, at least against the Avalanche, and you've got 4 more games against Colorado. And certainly we know what terrific goaltender Roberto Luongo is, but he just simply does not have a good record against the Avalanche in his career.
Yeah, and you look at it, and absolutely, you're starting to say, okay, wait a minute, who should we play?
Pass across for Henrik Sedin, returned, far circle for Daniel. Whipped it behind the net for his brother. On a pass in front, but Shattenkirk, good job, got in front of that pass. In play, though, by Vancouver.
And this certainly has been a game that the Sedins have dominated. The Avalanche done a nice job of not allowing them to put on their magic show.
Gagliardi, shot, tipped wide by Ehrhoff. Gagliardi hustles to get to the puck. Ehrhoff bumps him off the puck. Racing after him. Vanderbilt hooked down the defenseman behind the net. Ehrhoff back the other way. The puck travels into the Av zone. Icing is the call.
What's the Avalanche? The Avalanche are one of those clubs that get better as the game goes along. They see the 15 goals they've scored in the third period. That's the most in the league, along with Atlanta. It goes 10 in the first, 12 in the second, 15 in the third. The Avalanche get better offensively as the game goes along.
Hit behind the net, frees up the puck. Flash trying to clear. Bullet held it in for the Avs. Dribbles to the side of the net and pinned up right against the post. Goaltender Corey Schneider keeping the puck out. And it's still 3-0 Vancouver.
Vancouver 3, Avalanche nothing here in the third period, and a couple of streaks on the line. A couple of players playing very well for Colorado. Both on that right side, Chris Stewart and Milan Aiduk. Stewart ties a personal high of 8-game streak so far in Milan Aiduk. You want to talk about two different types of players. I mean, the bull of Stewart and just the finesse of a Milan Aiduk.
On the point by Lyles, misses. Snapped around to the corner. Centering try. All the way to the circle. Lyles threw out in front, caught a skate of his teammate. And yanked off the glass. Sent back the other way, and Shattenkirk. The Avalanche hustling back. Trying to use the net to screen his way away from Raymond. But Kessler went to the puck. Tripped up. Samuelson whips a shot to the front, and Budaj has to make a save. The Avalanche puck pack is back. Next Tuesday, 2 tickets, 2 Pepsis or beers, and a $10 Altitude Authentics gift card for just $98.50. Go to ColoradoAvalanche.com.
This is where the game that Vancouver played against Edmonton hurts the Avalanche a little bit. Vancouver is ahead 3-0 in that game. Let Edmonton back into the game. You know that they're being told right now that we are going to not let that happen again.
Quincy, a shot right on the ice, stick saved by Schneider. Redirected back around behind the net. To the point for Lippiton. Scoop to the corner. The Avalanche team in the last 2 games scored 11 goals. 6 against Calgary, 5 against Columbus. Tonight, they've been held off the scoreboard. With 10:19 to play in the third period.
And that, for Joe Sacco, again, you look at it, and it's a back-and-forth game in many aspects, 5-on-5, but the power play penalty killing have been the difference. The power play for the Vancouver, and obviously the penalty killing for the Avs.
Hansen moves the puck off the boards. Lyles. Quick pass up by Shattenkirk. Go off his stick. Hit to the live. Then once he got it back, when it shoots off the side of the net. Back to the corner. O'Reilly drills the puck back up the wing. O'Reilly keeps the puck alive for the Avalanche. Rome, Frenchman for Vancouver, got it back. Less than 10 minutes to go, third period. Zip in favor of Vancouver. Budaj punches the puck ahead. Winning. Dodges Henrik Sedin. Makes the handoff. Yep. Lost control of the puck. Zip back to the point. Shot by O'Reilly. Saved by Schneider. Pass in front. Intercepted. Edge in the center. Puck ahead. Bullis didn't get it out. Hansen down the slot. Tip redirected. Line by Peter Spink. Scored a goal against the Avs last week.
One thing for the Vancouver Canucks, in their forechecking tonight, they've been aggressive. They played the body very well in the Avalanche zone.
Canucks trying to make it 5 games in a row. The Avalanche, they've got a 2-game winning streak going. And the Avs are offside. We'll return to the third period in Denver. Vancouver has the lead. An early power play chance for the Vancouver Canucks, and Ryan Kessler rifles a shot by Peter Budaj. It's 1-0 Vancouver into the second period. Another power play. And put in off the back of the head of Peter Budaj by Henrik Sedin. 2-0 Vancouver into the third period. And yet another power play goal redirected by Rafi Torres, his 7th goal of the season. And the Vancouver Canucks, a power play goal in each of the 3 periods. They've got a 3-0 lead. Shattenkirk, center, shoots the puck into the Vancouver zone. Around the boards. Cleared out in the center.
The Avalanche throwing a little bit of a different look at the Canucks. They try to get something going offensively. Duchesne on the left side with Stastny in the middle and Stewart on the right side.
Has the puck. Rolling at center. Makes the pass to Stastny. Over towards Stewart. Down the slot. Backhand try by Lyles. Lots. To the point. Shattenkirk's got to come out in the center. Shoots the puck in. We've seen a lot of Kevin Shattenkirk. In this third period, you're down 3-0, looking for some offense and also giving the young player a chance to get some minutes, see what he's got.
Absolutely. Whether it's 1 game, 2 games, 5 games, whatever it is for Shattenkirk, every minute is just going to be, he's going to be that much better because of it.
Oh, a drive and right into the logo of goaltender Corey Schneider.
Well, let's have a look at the Western Conference with a win by the St. Louis Blues. And one of the things to look at St. Louis. That was only their 10th game of the season. They're 7-1-2. And what's been the biggest difference? Remember last year they couldn't win at home? They just were awful at home. They're 6-0-0 at home. They've outscored the opposition 18-7. I think the Halak trade has worked for them with the St. Louis Blues.
That has, and from all reports and seeing the games, they are really skating. Oh, I mean, they have just opened up, and those guys are flying.
Everybody talked about their biggest surprises. To me, the biggest surprise last year was that the St. Louis Blues played as poorly as they did for such a long time last year. Because they seemed to be poised after the great run they had, to make the playoffs 2 years ago, to be in contention for a long time. Just didn't happen last year. It's happening this year.
Torres after the puck. Shot save made by Budaj. 7:15 to play in the third period. 35 shots for the Canucks, 3 power play goals. And trying to get their second win in 2 games against the Avs in the season series. Will be 4 more games between these teams. 2 more in Denver, 2 more in Vancouver. In fact, the Avs have another trip to Vancouver before the end of this month. Before Thanksgiving.
24th and 25th, they go Vancouver, Edmonton back-to-back.
Hansen knifes his way in, pulls back up, makes the pass into the slot, tipped along to the near side boards, scoops around and behind the net. Schaefer hit, separated from the puck. Turned up the boards. O'Reilly, handoff. Canucks will get the puck back. Center ice for Schaefer. Tends to just drill the puck in around the boards. Budaj finds Duchesne. That combination we saw put together a little earlier this period back out there. Duchesne, Stastny, and Stewart. Budaj has to come up with a big save. Raymond. Samuelson for Vancouver. In the slot. Raymond sends it off the post. Drive by Bieksa. That gets blocked. Dragged along the boards by the Canucks. And then skated out deliberately to center ice by Samuelson. Drop back in. That'll give the Canucks a chance to change up. Avalanche keep their forwards out. 5.5 to go, third period. Bieksa back to the puck. Duchesne centering pass in the slot. Blocked. And Quincy will chase the puck back into the neutral zone.
A nice play by Rafi Torres right there. Blocked that shot. A little bit of a dangerous situation. And the Vancouver Canucks, whenever they have been presented with it, have made real strong plays in front of Schneider.
From the near side point, Daniel Sedin. Shot directed wide. Gagliardi skate in the center. Handoff goes to Winnick. Back to Gagliardi. Left front. And it comes wide. Henrik Sedin shoots the puck to center. Hannon finds Gagliardi. Broken up. There the other way. Burrows trailed by Henrik Sedin. Gives him the drop pass. Patiently works his way behind the net. Shot by Edler. And just a rocket misses. Gagliardi will take the puck for the Avalanche to center ice. Pass up ice. Edler with a hit on Yip. As keep the puck in play in the Vancouver zone. Lyles in the slot. Slides by everybody. Raymond 2-on-1. He's got Samuelson with him onside. Shattenkirk back. Shot. And coming back, Lyles may have helped. That puck went wide.
I believe that's the first time we've seen Shattenkirk face that kind of 2-on-1. The Avalanche are pushing the play. You know you're going to get chances against you. Shattenkirk handled that well.
Walking right in. O'Reilly with a pass across, headed blocked. Lippincott pitches in from the point. Edler pass behind the net for McLeod. Wrestled there by Ballard. From the point, Quincy backhanded. Side of the net, McLeod for Colorado. Going to be a penalty on Vancouver. Score! It counts. Delayed penalty goal. And the Avalanche have scored on Corey Schneider and the Vancouver Canucks. It's now a 3-1 game with 3:08 to go in the third period.
Just, and this is, you talk about a hard-working goal by this fourth line for the Avalanche. Vanderbilt will score this, and here is a player, Mike, that was not scheduled to play in tonight's game. And I watched him this morning. Did they skate him hard? I mean, they just worked him for an extra 25, 30 minutes after all the players that were scheduled to play had gone off. And Mike, when he comes back and he works hard, gets a chance here tonight with Dupuis and McLeod, they give the Avalanche a little bit of life in this game.
That's his first ever National Hockey League goal. And so David Vanderbilt with his first ever NHL goal. The Avs are on the scoreboard. Well, we take a look at tonight's Timberland play of the game.
Well, this is kind of how it's gone for the Avalanche on the penalty kill. We thought initially that Henrik Sedin had thrown that intentionally. I think he may have been trying to throw it off front off of Budaj, but I don't think he threw it off his head. It just sort of bounced up there, off the head of Peter Budaj and in behind. And that gave them a 2-0 lead. They stretched to 3, but now 3-1 is congratulations. 4 years at Boston University. He played 6 games with Calgary. And now a couple games with Colorado Avalanche. He gets his first ever goal.
Side of the net. Little rattle there. The Avalanche, 2:40 to go, third period, down by 2. Duchesne squeezed against the boards. Punched out to center ice. Back in. Launched out to center. Puck gets by Lyles. He'll recover. Keeps it across. Shattenkirk trying to return it to Lyles. And escapes to center ice. Long pass ahead. And a goal by Vanderbilt, assisted by Dupuis and McLeod. Up into the netting, out of play. That goal by Vanderbilt coming at 16:52, and now with just over 2 minutes to go, the Avalanche will put everything they can, of course, trying to get this next goal.
Vanderbilt, who had a very good camp for the Avalanche when he was he got into some exhibition games, played hard, did exactly what they wanted, and when he got the opportunity, Mike, he's got a real professional approach to it. 4 years in the American Hockey League. He knows how to play the game. He does a real good job in the role that he's been given with the Avalanche to this point.
Gets it off the glass. Pushed ahead by Malhotra. Right in front of the Avalanche bench. Pulse reels in the puck. Remember to Haydu. Left it in off the glove. But the exit. One hands it behind his own net. Budaj starting to make his way to the bench. And now he is on the Avalanche bench. Extra skater out for the Avs. So an empty net to shoot at for Vancouver. Won't be icing. Face off back in the Vancouver zone with 1:18 to go. And the Avalanche will have an extra skater on the ice.
Vancouver does have their timeout. The Avalanche called their timeout in the first period, but the Vancouver Canucks do have their timeout if they feel their guys are tired.
And the Canucks, Alain Vigneault, their head coach, using that timeout right now.
Yeah, it just gets you that extra 30 seconds to rest.
After the game, don't go anywhere. Stay tuned here on Altitude for the Go Toyota Locker Room Report. We'll have complete coverage of this game.
Well, for the Avalanche, it's regroup time for playing well here at home. They lost the first couple of games, and they won their next 2, and then now they've moved to a game below 500 here at home. And that they know that this has to be a place that they dominate.
Paul Stastny will take the face-off. You see Chris Stewart talking with Daniel Winnick, and Stewart has the puck right off the face-off. It bounced to Winnick. Into the corner. Stastny, center, shot. Off some bodies in front. And it popped up in the air and goes into the screen, out of play.
When you're watching this particular replay, watch the goaltender, Schneider. He is just relaxed, calm. He is just down. Everything is shoulder right, tucked into just a little upper part of the net. I mean, he's just a real solid effort tonight.
It's 2-0 this year. Duchesne's shot glanced off of Aroff. Stewart keeps the puck alive. Extra skater out for the Avs. They have pulled the goaltender, Peter Budaj. 50 seconds remaining to the point for Duchesne. Down to the circle. Tip in front and wide by Haydu. Lyles gets the puck alive. Got back around and waiting Duchesne. And it, Kessler sends it off the boards. And a good bounce. And the Canucks were very fortunate there. That was close to just going out of play. More time used up. Last 22 seconds here in the third period. Duchesne forced. And then pass comes out towards center ice. Lyles for Winnick. The Canucks just tenacious. 10 seconds to go. Pass through the middle. Duchesne flagged it down. 5 seconds to go. Duchesne coming in, left wing shot right into that logo of Schneider. Has to make a kick save near the end of the game, and that in fact is the end of the game. And Schneider goes to 3-0 this season, just giving up a goal late in the third period tonight. An impressive performance from that young goaltender, and for the Avalanche, we'll be getting ready for Saturday night against the Dallas Stars.
You know, It was a game that the specialty teams controlled for Vancouver. Schneider, 3 starts, 3 one-goal games against him in those games. And this is the first one coming on the road. And now the Vancouver Canucks go home to play Detroit in a couple of nights. And with their goaltending, pretty nice situation.
All right, Peter, let's look at our Forrest Molson 3 stars of the game for tonight.
Oh, Corey Schneider just did not allow the Avalanche to get any sort of momentum with any bad play at all. He was good all night long. Daniel Sedin, you know, amongst a group of forwards for Vancouver, they were all good, especially defensively. He had 2 assists, both coming on the power play. And David Vandergulik, who gets his first NHL goal. Hard-working night for that fourth line as they worked hard.
Vancouver using 3 power play goals tonight. Beat the Colorado Avalanche by a score of 3-1. We'll see you again Saturday. The Avs host the Dallas Stars. Now let's go to the studio for the Toyota Locker Room Reports.